Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. I thought I'd take a minute here and show you an interesting feature that occurs on the Penn Live Liner. This is a Penn Spinfisher. It's the 2500 Live Liner on the Spinfisher VI. I got a question that came in from one of our viewers about the operation of this reel and noted that there didn't seem to be a drag adjustment on the lower end. As many of us know from traditional rear drag fishing reels, let me grab one for a moment. On a traditional rear drag fishing reel, you increase or decrease the drag tension by turning the button. If you want to increase the tension, you turn it in a clockwise direction. If you want to decrease the tension, you turn it in a counterclockwise direction. That adds or compresses the drag washers that are in the lower carrying system, and that controls the amount of tension or max drag that you have on the spool. Well, Penn's Spinfisher with the Live Liner edition has a little bit of a different approach to it. First of all, on a Live Liner reel, these are set so that you can control a outflow of line for, while live lining. If you were putting a bunker or something like that on there, you can let it go without flipping your bail, and you control that by the tension on the drag washer from below when you're in live liner mode. And here's an example of that. We'll pull this back to live liner mode, and your line will go out as you let the fish run, or the chunk run, or whatever it is that you may be floating out there, but you don't constantly have to move the bail back and forth to let the line out. And you'll notice with this that the whole spool turns. That includes the button up above, the adjuster button, because that's not controlling the drag. This is controlling the drag. When you go back to fight mode, the spool will lock in, and now that top drag is what's controlling this. Well, what makes this unusual is that this is not the control for the amount of tension that you have on the drag. You just want to button this one up completely. If you look at the schematic for the reel, inside here there are no springs. Let me just see if I can pull this down accordingly. Inside that rear drag assembly, there are no springs. There is a collar that's going to hold your axle shaft. There's one tension one that's going to hold all the assembly together, I guess, so the cap doesn't fall off. That occurs right here. Then we have a metal washer and a fabric washer, another collar for your axle shaft, and then a repeat: fabric washer, metal washer, fabric washer, kind of lock washer in the bottom. That one screws in, O-ring for sealing, and the base cap. But nowhere in there will you see a spring that's going to be putting tension onto these drag washers. So once those drag washers go into the cavity right over here, you're pretty much set. You don't adjust that. Well, how in the world did Penn come up with adjusting for the various release on your piece? Well, here it is right here. There is actually multiple steps as you go to release to that live liner mode. So if you only want a little bit, there's one click. You'll feel it right there, and it'll set, and that'll allow this one to, well, spin pretty freely and easily, right? There's a second split. Tightens it up a little bit. A third. Yep, getting a little tighter. Fourth. Well, that's the max that's going to control it. So it's a 4-step assembly below the reel that is going to put the pressure onto this. And how's it doing that? It's pushing down on the control arm that locks in on these drag washers. Kind of an interesting set. And then, of course, when you get that first strike, you go ahead and reel, and well, that's it. Kind of a fun thing. I thought I would share that with you. I kind of like the live liner reels, but I don't fish them myself. Live liner reels, by their nature, are, well, they're labor intensive to go fix, because you really have the two systems. You have the system below, the system above, and the intermediate system, which is the trip feature. One more interesting thing with this reel, just to be pointed out so that everybody is aware of it. When you're in this reel, most of the live liner reels use some kind of a device where you have a hook that'll come up off of your set and interface with a trip on your main gear. This one uses a series of smaller gears in the release lever. That would be over here, your release lever. And you'll see there's gears here and there's a gear here. And both of those gears kind of synchronize in, much like the gears on a low-profile bait caster. They synchronize in. The gears on the low-profile bait caster would probably take you to free spool, right? It would kind of mesh. In this case, they mesh with a main gear drive that is the three. So this one, and this one all interlock teeth. And when you set your free spool on this one, when you crank your reel, the teeth on this kick these two drives back. So kind of a fun and different approach to the engineering of a live liner reel. So a lot of innovative functions and features here that just weren't shown. But again, intermediate drag set, you got stop 1 through 4, controls the top end drag for release, and then an unusual way to trip this back to free spool. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed that. And well, we always learn from these things, right? And that's kind of the fun of reel repair, looking at the design, the manufacture, and the engineering behind the reels, and what makes them work. I want to take a moment and thank our first responders, police, fire, safety, and rescue, everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. And I want to thank you, the viewers, for watching and for keeping this channel vibrant and making it what it is. If you've found some interesting engineering changes, some design things that make you wonder, some better mousetraps, if you will, let me know in the comments section. I'd love to go explore those, as I'm always trying to add to my understanding of the fishing reels and the mechanics, as well as what makes these reels tick. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day. Thanks for watching.